Welcome gamers to another One Piece Broadcast video. So today we're going to be looking at the Defender class. That is the runner class about a week ago. So we're gonna discuss how you play and win with them. But before that, let's go into a little bit of history and background of Defenders. They definitely have had the most highlights and being the strongest class most of the game, especially in 2019. Because I remember because I was in that wave where I wasn't playing when the Green Warrior was better and the Red White did was better, but those ones I seeing and how they were dominant in their time, and then the Green Big Mom and the Cool definitely like runners. They went how they went, like how they are now, where they can just have one-shot skills, easily move you with their normals and everything. Once you were defender, you were staying on the flag, no one could actually do anything to you, or not much knockback skills now. Or now you need to have, a lot of no traits to be a good defender, such as like foot healing, modifying knockback, resisting stagger, modifying status as well, and just knockback skills so that you can be able to fend yourself off against the run. But the most highest value trait, especially right now with only one BF defender has it, which is like the blue water, and the two EX defenders, the Big Mom and the Gear 5 Luffy. One that you can ignore the enemy while they're in the flag, except with the captures, of course. You can keep filling the gauge and still be a defender and be dominant and all of that stuff. So that is pretty good. But you must definitely try to fill up your flags, from first and second flag, especially if there's no other defender in the team. And if there's two or three more defenders and one of you guys needs to go to lane, depending on which defender has the skills, that is really good to get that mid flag and then hold it until the end. Because if you can, with the defender, mostly you need to be in your flag. Like if you're fighting outside your flag, you take tons of damage because you need your damage reduction. Either you need your defensive buff, your resist stagger, your nullification of status, all of those types of traits to do it. So that is, the one type of thing that players really don't like about defenders, because, most of us just want to be fighting, we just want to be clashing with, normal attacks and everything, or our skills against the other opponents. But with a defender, you're mostly gonna be patient one, guiding the flags, looking at the situation in the game, looking at your map. That is definitely one thing that you need to consider. And then helping your runners if they are trying to capture mid, and also stopping the back cappers like Kaido who teleports, the invisible reds like Nami or Supermask, and now the new queen that can also ignore flags if he's invisible. So that's something that you need to consider. With defenders, they usually have a good win rate, like I would say 50 to 80%, because the ability to fill gauge faster than any other class actually helps, like especially when you have the 150 gauge like the blue Kaido, the red Big Mom, and the Gear 5 Luffy. That is like a game changer. Like a runner can go to the flag in the last 10 seconds, they cannot capture it. Like it's a guaranteed and automatic win. So that can actually help. I hope one day that a bit Mantifest defender gets that. And I still think it will remain in EX rate, of course. And then you need to remember, like as a defender, you're the core of the team. Like the runners, the attackers, everything, they're just meant to make sure that you are able to get that flag, sit on there, make their jobs a little bit easier while they go capping on flags, while the attackers go, even kill some of the back cappers for you after you fill the gauge. So you hold the team together and like really like the foundation of the team in a perfect open real matching in reality. Yeah. And of course, as for options, looking at this gameplay, yeah, the big three definitely at the moment, even though Big Mom and Luffy are on their own tier, like away from Gap, but it's definitely Gear 5 Luffy, Big Mom, and Gap. Gap is actually really good. Like you look at all the other defenders like Futa, Zephyr, even Broke or Treble, yeah, they just don't compare to what Gap can offer, especially against the captains. There's a lot of captains going around, he's healing and he's tanking a lot, like reducing that defense and all of that with their skills, doing a lot of damage. So he's able to hold his one in the meta more than the other, I would say. And then you have like loyalty options with Kid, Owen, Jinbei, the Neptune. I mean, those are okay-ish. You know, they lack some. They are vulnerable in some places, like they don't if I no break, or they can't, you know, remove some runners off the flag. Things like that we need to consider. Or they're not taking enough, or they're not, you know, they can't sustain themselves enough. So with defenders, you know, you need, I'm sure many of you know, like the two types of way you can tank: the damage increase, damage reduction, and the defensive buff. So with the damage reduction defenders, the only thing that can hurt you is damage increase. Damage increase attackers and damaging or skills that ignore damage reduction as well. Okay, so and then for defensive buff, it's basically attack buff, and those attack buff are skills that can, you know, do some damage to you. That's the, you know, type of unit you need to be afraid of. And if you have defense buff, you know, a lot of damage increase units, you know, like Krager, like Ulta, they can't do anything to you. So that's, you know, while positive, but with damage reduction, you know, a lot of people who are like with attack buff, like the Shankses and Rogers, they can't do anything to you as well. So there's a give and take with the defense. But, you know, it's more advisable that when you're using a defender, you also pick it up with a runner. Because you can start with runner, get yourself the mid flag, and like die after that and spawn flag with your defender, filling those two flags, or just immediately going to that middle flag if your team does not have a defender. That's one option you can look for. And as it's for maps, I mean, there's a lot of maps that defenders you can use them. You can try out any map, but on like elevated maps or maps that have transportations, their win rate is not quite good because, you know, you with a defender you want two flags to be close to each other so that you can move around them quick. And if you can hold two flags as a defender, the chances of increasing the win rate and stopping runners becomes much higher. So maps like Balanced Day, is a defender map 100%. Like you just play a defender, the win rate just skyrockets there. Even Bachelot can also be, you know, a good option. Water 7 is, but there's some stairs, you know, there's those medical rights, but it is more so like a defender-oriented attacker because those first two flags, you can move to them quick and guard them against, you know, back covers and everything. So that's the point I mentioned there. And then, of course, Sabundi Evening can also be good because there's on the top lane, these two flags are close to each other. If you can get them, you can hold those two. And even at the bottom, the two flags are close to each other. Even though there's like elevation and those bubbles, but because you can get two flags at the same time, that is good. There are, you know, like wide open maps like Greenford, Alabasta Day, where, well, the flags, like everything is a wide separate, but, you know, the flags, like the second flag to the mid flag is quite close and everything like that. So with defenders, it depends on if the map that you're going with, you can get to between two flags, you know, quicker, and you stop runners and everything. But let me get to like the medals. With the medals, you basically most want to run damage reduction, but you can run, you know, cooldown sets like for skill 1 or skill 2 if your defender has, you know, high enough damage reduction and defensive buff, or they have both together. So with damage reduction set, of course, the 3 staple, the Corazon, Fuji, the Dressrosa medal, Corazon, Fuji, Victoria, and the Sabo. For those who don't have the trophy officers like Sugar, Buffalo, or Diamante, all of these other, some the event treble as well. If you don't have these other, you know, Doflamingo officers to give you that Don Quixote attack as a, you know, that option, you can just use like 5% damage reduction for each, and then just get that, of course. And then there's the Rambo medal. Rambo medal is pretty good. Like not many will have that event never remember there was came out months ago, but you can just one line with the Amaru, the BF Amaru, the blue defender Amaru, and then the green attacker in there, the step up unit, and then the Rambo from the corner shop. But the corner shop, you need to wait until you can make like your 2-star, 3-star, and then you can build up that little set. And then for skill 1 set, you have like Animal Kingdom Pirates, of course, the best, the one with the green attacker Kaido, blue defender Kaido, and then just any one of the Kaido's beasts. I would be like a King, Alti, Sasaki, and then what is it, who's who? You can work around with that. And then for the skill 2, I mean, there's no damage reduction with this for defender, but you can run, the only event battle goes crit on that you'll never crit, but it for skill 2. And the bandage Zoro, the one that if someone is keeping the flag, every time you hit them, you get skill 2 cooldown. And this method can be useful because there's a lot of claws and other runners that can ignore the capture, so you can just hit them and get your skill back to knock them back fast and all of that. And you can use like the time skip Zoro as an option. And there's like other medals like the Kid, Buggy, and Shanks medals like Green EX Odin that you can consider. Yeah, that wraps up like the character options and the medal sets and everything. The last point I want to discuss, how you can use your defender to pressure the enemy. Especially, during the start of the game, is definitely going to the mid flag. And then when it comes to later on at the end of the game, is watching out, looking at your map, watching out for the runners, watching out for the bad caps, and knowing which characters can cap the flag faster than any other unit. Like as a defender, if you see an attacker go black cap and you see like it's 20 seconds left, don't go for the attacker. Go for the happy character, the one who teleport and kept that flag quick. Or the Fluid Nam, that's the one that's more of a threat. So it comes with a little bit of experience. And if you don't get if you haven't played those units a lot, then you wouldn't know. But after you learn and lose a couple of matches, you see that as a defender, I must have them always enough, especially the last 30 seconds. And during the first 30 seconds of the game, you can just, go get the mid or fill up the 2 flags. Watch out for Kaido, because Kaido can instantly come to your flag. And like, easy now. People are used to it, easy dodge and everything. So that's how you can pressure. Like, putting pressure on like runners, making sure they can't back cap. Definitely creates an opening and an opportunity for your team to do well. Definitely, that's what I can say about a defender. And I've seen it work pretty well. And then of course you can use many universal sets, those sets that you want. Supports like Grand Line and Zone also help for defenders because there's like a damage reduction tank for 15%. Like unconditional. You just have it. Like if you have 6 Grand Line units, 6 Zone units, you have that 15% damage reduction unconditional on top of the damage reduction you have from the traits. So that is one thing to consider depending on the unit type of defender that you're running. So always, support your runners, make sure they can flags, and always be patient. Stay in your flag, do not fight. Like the moment you fall for a bait and you go outside your flag, knowing that the enemy is trying to fight you outside your flag, move back your flag as quickly as possible, and then you will be doing well pretty much easily. So that's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed some of the tips I gave, some advice, and tell me if I missed out anything. I think I covered, mostly what a defender should need in the game. Even the gameplay, I hope it well with what I was trying to say. And then I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe.
お前らじゃ何も面白